And the coffee's starting to work on my brain now. Yay! But, as I'm talking here on the Twitter twatters every once in a while, and even on Minds, Matt C does bring up a good point. Yeah, you can have underdog characters. You can to establish somebody to root for, using the Martian as an example. And to me, Mark Watney did have likability factor, not because his personality was likable, because Mr. Matt did keep me in on this, because he is very kind of like acquired taste when it comes to certain things. Oh boy. But it made me realize the reason why I can like some characters, even if they have a very prickly personality, is because their likability factor for me also ties into what kind of virtue, well, like what is their main virtue or set of virtues. If there's a virtue like that I can see, then I'm more likely to give that character another look-see. It's like, okay, this person isn't just filled to the brim with a cringy Joss Whedon level snark. And yeah, there's still tropes out there where it's just I really wish it wasn't as prevalent. Say for example, Xena. Xena was prickly at times, but Gabrielle brought out a gentler side to her. I mean, it took a while, which is understandable, but also that's the case of, you have to have a certain level of likability factor to your characters. They can't be just a bundle of flaws and warts and mental fuck-ups and retardation like that. And yes, retardation. I'm going to keep saying words that people don't like, because this is my channel, and I don't give a damn. So, you have that. It's like, so you have to basically pick this character up and like, okay, if they're going to have X, Y, or Z, I got to make sure I give them some hooks to where the reader will want to keep turning the page. It's the reason why I've dropped so many dead in the water Hugos from like the past decade or more. And in fact, the last time I really remember enjoying a Hugo Award winner was, let's see, give me a moment to think, because I had to pause this to really think. Yeah, sorry people. Other than maybe Alistair Reynolds, I think. He might have won a Hugo at some point. But yeah, I can't really think of anybody recent that I'm really interested in. But Matt also brings up a good point. Likable doesn't necessarily mean nice or admirable. Thinking of It's Always Sunny in my playlist. Yes, that is true. You can make a likable curmudgeon, but you have to make sure with that you don't beat people over the head with like all their warts. Yeah, when it comes to characters, and for me to find some even ground or something to latch onto, I want their virtues in the forefront. I think that's the reason why Draco is also keying in with Anna. Yes, a lot of people disagree with her. She's very acidic, and that's also part of like the whole negative to positive thing. But I also wanted to lampshade the fact that with Eddie saying like, how did she manage to land a guy like that? See, but the difference is you'll see there's differences in Teddy's personality versus Thomas. Thomas is more reserved and a little bit more severe, but not because he doesn't care. It's because emotionally he's a very controlled guy. He doesn't break down in public or anything like that. Teddy, his emotional kind of setup is a bit more open, but he's also he doesn't come from a military background. I made him more of like he loves the outdoors. He's one of the few people that can get Anna to legit smile about things. He doesn't automatically dismiss her crazy theories, which aren't so crazy because she's a powerful enough weave speaker. If I'm getting a clear enough indication, she can actually see threads of the multiverse, even from universes that never came into being because of certain choices. So it's kind of like having a seer on your team in some ways, but her powers work more like a sense of clairvoyance, or she could tap into like the weave and some various shards of the multiverse that way. But in doing so, she wasn't able to control it very well, so she would get a whole lot of like feedback that would disturb her. And her family, her father and mother aren't dead. It's just I introduce certain characters when it becomes relevant to the plot, which is that's going to become a bit more relevant soon, because her father is also like a weave speaker, but he doesn't have nearly as much mojo as his daughter. Um, but he has mojo in other ways. It's like they all make a basically a concerted effort to protect people through various rituals, holy rites, and things like that. I kind of made it to where a lot of like all the religions, where there are various holy men and priests and everything else, they all tap on into the weave on some subconscious level, and some of them did develop some demi powers to where they use that to augment their capability. Now, Poppy was good at infusing religious symbols with the power of the weave slash, pretty much it's pretty apparent the weave is pretty much God. And I took, the biblical angle of unity is, the fallen of that aspect. The unity fell from Eden, and that sort of thing. That's the reason why I like Christian-based themes and books, because you can create a very distinct good versus evil setup, and you don't have to be up front and messagey about it. It just creates a very clear good versus evil contrast to me as a reader and a writer. So yeah. Yay, more Florida Woman rambles in the morning. Or I guess, well, technically it's still morning. It's just a little after 11. So there you have it. A little bit more on likability. I guess I could mark this as an episode 2 or 3. Or maybe I could just do it as like a series of stuff, since I am rebooting certain things on the channel. So, have a good day, everybody.